dreamers, and welcome back to Dream Queen by Perla. As always, guys, thank you for all your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, I encourage you to do so. It helps with growing the channel, getting the video out there for more people, as well as keeping me accountable for personal readings. So that information can be found down below in the description. So, Aquarius, this is your weekly reading, and it's kind of like this. I really like this energy. There is a sense of solitude. You may have taken some time in the past few days, or will be taking some time in the next few days to sit with yourself, to it's almost kind of like taking inventory of how far you've come. And it's not so much of like a financial energy. I feel like it's more like an emotional and spiritual type of energy that I'm picking up for you, where you have grown and evolved so much that you may not even be aware of how far you have actually come in those areas of your life. Like, let's put it this way, like the financial growth, right? Or the health growth. Like if you're eating healthy or you were exercising and stuff, you can see the physical changes, right? You can see the financial changes. You can see the financial success. But a lot of times we don't give ourselves credit for our own growth, our own emotional growth, our own mental growth, our own spiritual growth. And that's kind of like what you're taking inventory of this week. And you're almost kind of like connecting the dots, or making the connection of how everything is synchronized, or how everything is connected, right? Because you chose to make yourself a priority. You chose to heal yourself. You chose to emotionally grow or mature, right? And you chose to dive into like your spiritual path. That is what has aligned you to that financial success, to that to those goals, to those manifestations in other areas of your life. But it's almost kind of like you're kind of like being reminded, like, hey, it all started here. Remember when you were here? And you're not being reminded of it to be torture or anything like that. It's to allow yourself to celebrate that part of yourself, to allow yourself to celebrate that growth within yourself, right? A lot of times we don't celebrate the little things, right? And when you celebrate the little things, you allow space for bigger things to celebrate, to come in. And that's kind of like what this week is for about you. So there is this sense of like almost kind of feeling like you're in between like two rounds, right? Or making the connection with it, like between like your spirituality and your day to day, and seeing how intertwined they are, and how when you choose to fulfill, right, your spiritual path or your spiritual aspect of your life, it allows the material things in this world to manifest a lot faster. And for those of you that you haven't experienced that, maybe this is something that you are experiencing for the first time. But there is a lot of grounding and a lot of like standing strong type of energy. They are showing like a tree, like you know how a tree just stands, right? The tree trunk is there, whether it is winter, spring, summer, or fall. The leaves change, right? So the tree is constantly evolving, is constantly changing, because the trees are falling, the trees are blooming. Not the trees, the leaves, right? They fall, they bloom, they change colors, etc. And it's almost kind of like it's almost kind of like reminding you, like you're like almost like a tree. There's seasons for everything, right? There's seasons to let go, there's season to harvest, there's seasons for change, there's season for growth, there's season for rebirth. And it's almost kind of like you're being shown your how the changes in your seasons have led you to where you are at, and you're being just told to just like embrace that and celebrate that. So for tarot, we have the Four of Coins. We have the Two of Swords in the reverse. And then we have the King of Coins. So I'm not saying at all that your journey to where it is that you are now hasn't been difficult, because it has. There was a lot of reprogramming your thoughts. There was a lot of reprogramming your viewpoints, the way that you spoke to yourself, etc. And there was a lot of things that you had to let go, and a lot of things that you had to walk away from in order to get to this place, in order to get to this moment where you feel stable. And what you're being told is that when you learn to know which battles to fight, it changes, or it has changed the entire game for you. So instead of resisting, you learn to surrender. Where maybe in the past, because of fear of the unknown, or because it was new or whatever, you may have resisted the spiritual aspect of things, or a certain way of doing things, and you have definitely you have grown through the process, and I feel that you don't give yourself enough credit for it. So this week is about giving yourself enough credit for your spiritual growth and your emotional growth. So now we're going to pull out an oracle. Now this can be confirmation to the reading, your advice, or something that you're not seeing clearly that you need to be made aware of. Number 14, the Drifter, experiencing life as it comes, right? And this is kind of like this energy, like that I was saying, like where you seem to be taking like some time to like reflect, or some time to just kind of like unwind this week, to allow yourself to almost like it's kind of weird for you guys, because it's like you're not just experiencing this moment, you're almost re-experiencing the past, what you have overcome, but your perceptions or your emotions connected to that have shifted in a very different way, where now you're grateful, or you're in a grateful state for everything, all the challenges that you had to face, because it allowed you to grow, right? And it allowed you to evolve, and it has allowed you to get to the point where you are now at in your life. So what is the final message, Spirit? Light. Look to the spaces between the trees for answers. Tree came up again. And this comes in that space of when we're looking in between something, when we're trying to read in between the lines, it's about connecting things. How is that connected to this? How did that lead to that? And that is kind of like the energy that you're being asked. And not at all is taking that time going to take away from what you're doing, and it's not going to stop you or cause any delays. And I don't know why I have to say that to you guys. Well, guys, that is all that I have for you for this week. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Love you all. Mwah. Bye-bye.